I don't know, maybe it's because it's been a fairly depressing start to the year, but this really lit the little fires in my spirit. I think what makes this extra funny is how the voting and nominations for the Oscars actually works, which I had to go and look up in order to make this video. So basically, Oscars voters are made up of peers. So you have actors voting for other actors, and cinematographers voting for other cinematographers, and directors voting for other directors, and so on and so forth. So this means that the people who were very creeped out by these two and their behavior are their own peers, and probably a bunch of people that they work with directly, which is somehow just the icing on this hilarious cake. And it actually makes me wonder how many people in Hollywood, the actors and actresses, are secretly normal and would agree with the rest of us on a bunch of things. That aside, the decision to not nominate our two nutbag friends actually resulted in a massive firestorm on social media. People have already been acting like the film Wicked for Good not being nominated at all is some huge deal as it is, but fans are absolutely convinced that this has nothing to do with the insane food-deprived behavior and lackluster performances that we've seen, and everything to do with racism and misogyny. Because when in doubt, everything is racist. One woman on TikTok that I found wondered why people are treating Cynthia Erivo like a soul-sucking demon, suggesting that the negative opinions about her are just rooted in racism.
Please someone explain to me what's going on.
With that being said, there were also a bunch of people on Twitter who were mad that the Academy took into consideration things outside of the actress's performance, saying that this shouldn't be the case at all. Which really just indicates that the people watching these award shows have absolutely no conceivable idea or understanding of how they operate. Not only is the actor's performance in the film itself taken into consideration, but so too is the actor's reputation and how they are perceived by the audience and so on. So if you are acting creepy and weepy on not only the red carpet, but in press interviews, your fellow actors are probably going to see that and be like, so if they think you're being a freak, they're probably not going to vote for you. Unless it's the kind of freaks that they like. I don't know. So it seems that Cynthia Erivo's peers were as weirded out about her overly affectionate and downright possessive behavior and interactions as the rest of us. Also, just quietly, trying to attribute the lack of interest in Cynthia Erivo to racism and misogyny is extra funny when you're old enough to remember that Leonardo, I date almost minors DiCaprio, has famously not been able to win an Oscar.